Merry Wednesday, everyone. It is New Comic Book Day, so that means another episode of TGIW. Thank God it is Wednesday. Uh, so today, it's kind of a reasonable week. If you pay attention to any comic news, it's kind of a hot week. And I don't generally pay attention to a lot of comic news, as I've said before. I don't really get on the speculation thing and all that. It's just too much. I don't like actively avoid it. I just don't seek it out. But when sometimes something happens and like, you can't avoid it, and it comes up in any sort of casual comic forums that I may happen to come across. So I mean, the question is, did you get your Year of the Villain Hell Arisen #3? The first now full appearance was it last week before, when it was the cameo appearance of Punchline. Man, it's gonna be one of those things where it's gonna be hot. It's the speculators buying stuff, and it's in short supply because no one cares about Year of the Villain. So no one subscribed to that mini or limited series that has to do with an event that just no one really cares about. At least as far as I can tell, I actually don't care about it. The best thing about Year of the Villain is when it had tie-ins with books, it didn't really matter. So my favorite thing about Year of the Villain is that I can ignore it. It was fairly safe. So did you get your copy of that? And it's if you're not subscribed to that series, it's hard to get, because again, there's the order. If no one buys 1 and 2, they're not ordering big on 3, and then all of a sudden, oh hey, people want this. But if you didn't get it, don't worry about it. It's not that big of a deal. It's going to be hot because of speculation for a minute, and it's going to die back down. Remember Joker's daughter? When Joker's daughter was a thing? Everyone's like, oh, it's the daughter of the Joker. This thing's super hot, and speculation went crazy, and now who cares? It's going to be the same with Punchline, I'm sure. So anyway, back to business. That's being said, like it's not a crazy week aside from that sort of drama that's been going on. My book of the week for last week was Guardians of the Galaxy #2. This story I'm really interested in. It's the return of sort of the pantheon of Olympus gods, which I always kind of like Olympus gods. Of course, Hercules gets kind of tied up in that, and it's been a long time since I've really seen Hercules doing something. At least I've seen Hercules doing something cool. So not only do I really like the story, but any time that Star-Lord and Rocket sort of bromance just like really, really shines and comes through. I really, really love that, and it happens in here. So that's what kind of got the book of the week. Why that got the book of the week. So moving on to polls for this week. Peter Porker, the Spectacular Spider-Ham. Because why not? And I mean, that cover is great. That old timey cartoons, but then the sort of the current Peter Parker in the background. Like, what is going on here? It's such a fun cover, and Spider-Ham is a good time. Ravencroft #2. I've really been digging this Ravencroft stuff. I don't know if they're trying to build it up. Ravencroft's been around for a while. It's kind of like the Arkham of the Marvel U, but not as important as Arkham. And also a little darker. Arkham it's an insane asylum, and it's an important sort of character in Batman mythos. But Ravencroft is also institute for the criminally insane, as it says on the cover, but has a little more occult stuff going on around it, which is kind of fun. So I don't know if they're just trying to. Is this just a, hey, we have a fun story to tell about Ravencroft, or are they trying to to pull it up a little bit and give it more recognition and make it more of a thing. I don't know. It's gotten a lot of love lately through the Absolute Carnage, and now it's kind of taken off on its own little thing. So it's kind of fun. Justice League Dark. Bring in Animal Man. I love Animal Man. I haven't seen Animal Man. When was the last time we saw Animal Man? I know whatever his last series was. Was that in New 52? Was it before? I don't even remember. But I love Animal Man. That old school costume. He's cool. Super excited for that. Really excited. Ghost Rider 5. Been digging the crap out of this. The Danny Ketch's new look, where he didn't have a bike, his sword, but the sword sort of has the look of the front of his 90s style bike. This has been so much fun. Johnny Blaze, sort of ruler of hell, and got both Ghost Riders up in the mix. It's a good time. Detective 1020. It's more detective. Who can keep all the Batman straight? I don't remember what's going on in this. Is it the beginning of a new storyline? I don't know. Two-Face is there, apparently. So we'll see. Curse of the White Knight. I mean, this has been great. I like this take on Azrael. It's just been a fun read. I really liked Batman White Knight, and this is not as good, in my opinion, but I like this sort of Splinter miniverse with Jack Napier as a Joker, and Jack Napier is still sort of in there, and actually wants to be good, and it's a lot of fun. That world is a lot of fun. Force Works 2020. I decided I'm just going to go all in on the 2020 stuff. This Iron Man 2020 stuff. As I mentioned last time, I picked up Machine Man #1, which is part of a mini. I think this is a 3-part mini. I'll put all my whatever aside and just try my best to enjoy the story. I think my problem with the Iron Man has been like this focus on AI, the AI thing. But now if they're actually making a story out of it and it's going to be good, then that's fine. That's great. I'm all in as long as it's good. And hopefully, it wraps it up. Hopefully it makes all that going through that Iron Man stuff, the way Iron Man's been for a while, worth it. But what I've seen so far of 2020, I've enjoyed. Like, stuff is actually happening and it's fun. It's not just this sort of dialogue of talking about, AIs are people too, and Jocasta, why do you want to be human? Like, I don't know. Stuff's actually happening. It's not just a bunch of talking heads. Just kind of wore me out in the Iron Man book itself. TMNT Janika. I don't know. I've been loving TMNT. I thought the idea of creating a new turtle was, especially Lady Turtle, was super fun. I've enjoyed her in the main story, so let's see how she does in a solo book. I'm also hoping just the aftermath of TMNT 100. We've had a few issues, and it's been kind of slow and sad. It's been good. I'm not complaining. It makes sense of where the story is kind of going, given what happened. But at the same time, if this can kind of give a little reprieve of that and kind of just be a fun story, which hopefully it will be. I don't know. I haven't read it yet. But that'll be worth it. Shazam #11. I think this is great. I think this is the longest I've ever been on a Captain Marvel or Shazam book. And it continues to be really good. I don't know why. I'm so surprised at how much I like it. I mean, it's Jeff Johns, I presume. But I mean, I actually care. I don't know. It's been a long time coming, I guess. The introduction of Billy's dad is spoilers, but that happened like 2 or 3 issues ago. So what are you doing? Where you been? Is great. Is great. It's just heartwarming. It's heartwarming. Scream, Curse of Carnage, number 4. And more, spinning out of Absolute Carnage. So obviously that's a pickup for me. Spider-Man Daily Bugle. I mean, it's a Spider Mini. It's sort of a default. Gonna pick it up. And Amazing Spider-Man 40. Or Chance. Chance, whatever. Like Chance's biggest claim to fame is that he is on Amazing Spider-Man 299. He's on the cover of Amazing Spider-Man 299, which is the first cameo of Venom. That's Chance's big thing, which it kind of sucks. The thing he's probably most recognized for is he's on the cover of a book that people care about, but not for him. All right, stuff that weren't polls. I picked up. Come on, Wolverine again. How many times have I say I don't care about Wolverine? It's one of the, I want to. Give me a really good Wolverine story. Make me care about Wolverine, and then I'll care about Wolverine. It's not hard. I'm not being stubborn. But give me something that lives up to the hype. So I'll give it a chance. I don't know how much this is tied into all the other X stuff because I don't read any other X stuff. So I might be completely lost. I will probably be completely lost. Like I didn't read any of the Powers of X and House of X. I don't even know what's going on in the X universe. I wouldn't mind a Wolverine solo title that isn't bogged down by all of that. I doubt that's what this is going to be, but I'll give it a shot. I think this came out last week, but my local comic shop they came in damaged and the replacements came in for today, so that's why it's kind of a week late. All right. A couple of back issues, nothing big. A couple of things to fill out some runs. Amazing Spider-Man Silk, Spider-Fly Effect number 4, and Doc Ock Out of Reach number 5. I don't even have any other issues. I just know where I can get them. Well, I think I have the other issues of this on the way in the mail, and I know where I can get the other issues of this. So I picked it up at this comic shop while I was there, and I'll probably pick up the rest sometime soonish. And then a one-shot Swing Shift director's cut just to fill in the Spidey run. Now, listen, I know that I this whole I don't remember her name. The pickpocket. The Joker's punchline. Ugh. I know I went this whole spiel about it was a big deal and the speculators and whatever. And it's all just a mess. I mean, the speculation, like it's so bad for the market. It's so bad. It's kind of what helped crash things at one point, or numerous points. And it's the people that are out there like, oh, I just want this one book because I can flip it for money. Like, that's not cool. You're taking it out of the hands of people who want it. Now, that being said, with this particular book, I don't think it's coming out of the hands of people who wanted to actually read it. Because, again, I might just be projecting here, but I don't know if anybody really cares about You're the Villain or this particular, the Hell Arisen mini. That being said, I was able to get my hands on a copy of it. Not to flip it. I am fairly confident that in a few months no one is going to care, but I was able to pick a copy up for cover price. So why not? In the case that it does end up, the Punchline does end up sort of being a cool character, and it's quite possible. She's not going to be a Harley Quinn. No one's going to live up to that because Harley's just been around for so long, and was like the first real big sort of Joker sidekick. having that dynamic. But I truly hope that Punchline is a good character, and Joker having the dynamic with a girlfriend, whether or not that's what she ends up being, or is he going to be abusive to her like he was to Harley, or who knows? But it's very possible that there could be some great stories with that character. So if that is the case, I'm willing to take that $5 risk that she ends up being a character that I care about and would want her first appearance for. So I just get it now while I can. Again, it's selling on eBay for, I don't know, like $40-50, something like that, probably be my guess. That seems to be the going rate for these hot speculator books. I'm sure it's going to come down eventually, and people who really care about getting the first appearance of Punchline can probably get it. Just like, don't buy it now. It's not. I mean, or do. It's your money. Maybe I'm completely wrong. Maybe it will stay high. Maybe it will go up higher. I don't know. It's hard when those speculators get in there because they artificially inflate the price until people start buying things at an artificially inflated price, and it becomes the price. Dumb. So anyway, that's it. That's everything. Nothing really major. It was a fairly, I mean, it wasn't a heavy week. It wasn't a light week. It's just kind of right there in the middle. But it's good stuff. Some good stuff I'm excited to jump into. So that's it. Let me know. Did you get a copy of Hell Arisen? Number 3. Are you reading Hell Arisen? And if you are, is it any good? Like, I don't know. It had none of the Year of the Villain stuff is any interest to me. And, I think it all kind of spawned out of that Metal series because it has to do with the Batman who, like, I don't know about that stuff. I picked up the first couple of parts of Metal and I didn't really care, so I stopped. But then this Batman Who Laughs came out of it, and evidently he's a semi-important character, and he's part of this Year of the Villain, and I feel like I can't get into Year of the Villain because I didn't read Metal. I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong. But whether or not I can or can't, it just didn't really have much appeal to me. I didn't have much interest, so anyway. So did you get a copy? Are you reading it? Is it any good? Let me know. What are your good pickups for this week? What did you really like from last week? Let me know. Like, comment, subscribe, do all those things, and I will see you soon-ish. This video was brought to you by Titan Comic Pressing. Follow us on Facebook and Instagram at Titan Comic Pressing LLC.